Grand Rising, guys. Woo, let's talk about growth. Let's talk about growth. And the only growth that I can really measure is the growth in myself, right? We can't measure somebody else's growth. We can't measure somebody else's journey. We can only measure the growth within ourselves. And let me tell you, I have really hit this place of growth, right? So I love my Facebook memories because I've been I can track my growth. Okay, so I can just see where I was a year ago or 2 years ago, or 5 years ago. And 5 years ago I was talking about celebrity stuff, and and then once I got into recovery, I was tracking my recovery a lot. And then I can look back and see how far I've come. But since I started, and then a couple years back, I started sharing more of my story. And I would write Dear Sarah stories, because I was writing to my child. That Dear Sarah, I'm writing back to me, and the memories that I had and how far I had come. So I'm writing back to the old me. And anyways, so today I go back in the memories to check out what I was doing a few years back on this day, and I see a post that I made about my older children. My daughter, my oldest daughter, wanted to celebrate her birthday with a hotel room. She wanted to rent a hotel room with just her brother and I, and that's what we did. And so it was a great time. It was a great time because we were trying to rebuild the relationship in which had been quite rocky. Through my addiction, there was a time where I didn't see my children at all. I had just completely checked out. And so and that was a lot of years. There was 7 years that I had completely checked out of their lives. And up until today, I always had said to myself and to them, and I always felt in my mind that I had abandoned them. And so I'm reading back the post, and the post is saying, we had never done, she wanted to play, she wanted to rent the hotel room with her brother and I, and because these are my biological children. So she wanted to rent the hotel room and play. She said, I just want to be like old times, and I want to play board games and stay up late and talk and laugh and what have you. So in the post I say, it's not really like old times, because we had never done those type things. Because shortly after she was born is where the addiction started. So by the age of 5, I had completely checked out of her life. So we had never had opportunity to play board games and stay up and laugh and just have mom and brother and sister together. So these were new times, and we were creating new times. And then I went on in the post to say, because there was a time in their life that I abandoned them. And when I was reading it back today, I thought of what I was kind of talking about last Wednesday. I had watched a video about a guy asking this random guy on the street. This particular guy was asking different people on the streets, what is the difference between believing and knowing? And The guy says, what do you truly believe and what do you truly know? And it is our belief in things that aren't, it's not necessarily real. We just believe them. They're like that. And then we mold our lives from what we believe. And so I'm reading this. So that video has been sitting with me, and I've been walking around since last Wednesday with, what do I believe to be true or false? And what do I know to be true or false? And when I read my post back from last year, I believed, while I was writing that post, I believed that I had abandoned my children. But I didn't know. I just believed it. And now, today, when I watched it back, I said, this post is not correct. This post is not true. I don't believe that you abandoned your children. You didn't abandon them. Like, you left them in a safe place because you knew in your heart of hearts that they were better off in this safe place. At least, there is a roof provided. They are going to have food. They're going to have their needs met and everything they need. And you cannot provide that in active addiction. I couldn't provide these things anymore. But I wasn't necessarily ready to do anything about the addiction yet. So in abandoning them, I was really just giving them a gift of something safer than what I was able to offer them. So when I read it back this morning, and I was like, the abandoned part stuck out to me, and I was like, that's not true. That's not true. I don't believe that. I don't believe that anymore. Do you know how freeing it is for me in this moment to no longer believe that I abandoned my children? That changes the game all the way around for me, because now I can stop living in that place where I feel bad about the decision that I made to give them a better life. I didn't abandon them. They might have felt abandoned. I might have felt as though I was leaving them and abandoning them. But they were in a better place. So this is a total game changer because I don't believe it anymore. So I never have to walk around with that feeling as that I did something bad for them. I did the absolute best I could with what I had at the time, and being in active addiction and leaving my children in a safe, secure environment was a gift to them. So I don't believe it anymore. I know that I did the best I could. And that just lifted so much weight off of me because I don't believe it anymore. So I cannot convince myself that what I did was something to harm them. And so now I can begin to parent in a different way, because there was parts of me that was doing things with these two to make up for what I had done. And there is no possible way that we can make up for what we did back then. Like, I was really struggling with, will they ever know that I truly love them? Will I ever be able to mend that emptiness that they may have inside of them? And they've said many times, like, we're kind of happy that you left when you did, because we probably wouldn't have the same relationship that we have with you now. And it would be a totally different thing, because by this point it would have been so much worse. Like, the trauma would have been so much worse. And we wouldn't have the relationship and the friendship that we have with you now. And I never really accepted what they were saying as truth, because I was still believing that I had abandoned them. But now that I know that I didn't abandon them, that I just gave them the best opportunity for what I thought at the moment, I can parent in such a way that I'm not trying to make up for the past. I can only go forward and do the best I can with what I have now. Whoa! You guys. This is growth. This is what the journey is about. This is what figuring this all out is. That you put the past away and you move forward in this new place. And I just had to share it because I know that, there's a lot of people out there who have not made the best decisions at a time, but they did the best they could with what they had in that moment. But they're still believing that they made a poor decision, and they believe it. And so that's what it is. But when you find a place of knowing, and it can't trigger you anymore. It can't trigger me anymore. Like, the post was absolutely beautiful until I read that word abandon, and I was just like, no, it doesn't hold any water anymore. You wrote that because you somehow were trying to make up to your daughter. She simply just said she wanted something from you, and you were trying to make up for that 5-year-old little girl who wanted her mother. And I believed somehow that was going to change it, and it didn't. It gave her great memories now, but it didn't change the fact that I had given her a gift of a safer place, because I never abandoned them. My heart was with them the entire time. I just knew that I had to be away until I got better. And then when I got better, I came back. And I came back in a brand new person. I'm free from this. I am free from walking around thinking that I did something wrong. This is gonna be a great day. I have plans today, so I'm hoping that the sun shines and the birds continue to chirp, and that the rain doesn't hinder my plans, because I have some plans today, and I'm really looking for. I see the sun is rising, and I'm grateful for it. I'm gonna sit here for a while and just bask in the fact that word abandon is no longer part of my journey. It's no longer there. I can't be used against me. I can't use it when I'm trying to convince myself that I should be making choices in my parenting that I wouldn't necessarily want to do, but because I'm trying to make up for the 12-year-old boy and the 5-year-old girl. You know, I can't make up for it. So I have to make the decision from right now because that's what they needed anyways. So I would have to make the decision from the parent that they wanted, not the parent that they had. Are you stop holding, yeah, we need to get to a place where we stop holding ourselves. We have to release it. Because releasing it is so doggone freeing. It's so freeing. No more abandoned bullshit. That's done. I gave them a gift. And I can move on from there. I love you all. I love you all, and I share my journey. As you know, as difficult it is sometimes to like come in, you know, and share where I've been and where I'm at. You know, sometimes I'm like, do I share too much? And then I get these messages of people saying, thank you for sharing that. I really needed that. What you shared, being so open and being so vulnerable while you're sharing really helps me to get through it. And then I remember in that moment that that's why you're doing this. Because there was a lot of times that I looked for some little snippet of hope. And there was just nobody out there saying like, it happened to me too. And this is what I did, and this is what helped me, and this is how I got past it, and I'm here for you. And so I'm grateful. I'm going to keep sharing because it feels really good. It feels really good to get it out and know that I'm on the right path. So I hope everybody has a great day, and I love you all. I love you all, and I share out of a place of genuine love. And so have a great day. Love you. Peace.